This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR. And tonight, the Giants, thank God they finally won another game. A win streak, if you will, for the Giants. They got 2 in a row now. That counts as a win streak for these Giants. And they launched 3 first-inning home runs to lift them over the Padres and seal their first win at Petco Park this season. Heliot Ramos, Rafael Devers, and Wilmer Flores all went deep off Nestor Cortes to give Robbie Ray, who was pretty damn good yet again today, a 4-run lead before he even set foot on the mound. And the win gives the Giants, like I said, a whopping 2-game win streak. We'll break it all down, but first I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Alan Stiles, has been doing some great stuff, man. Hopefully we'll get Alan on the postcast sometime this week, introduce all of you guys who have yet to tune in to his daily shows to Alan, and he does some great work, so you aren't going to want to miss that one. And one last note, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you see my dumb birthday hat that my girlfriend made me wear for the show today. It is my birthday today, but we had to do a Giants postcast. So the Giants, for all I wanted for my birthday was a Giants win, and we got it. So I'm a happy Triple E tonight. And the Giants, man, I'm satisfied with the win. Don't get me wrong, but all of the offense coming in the first inning and then hanging on for dear life for the rest of the game is not a very fun way to watch a baseball game. It's just not. It's very Giants baseball. You know what I mean? Like, this is exactly how the Giants have won games throughout their entire season, really, and in large part, even when they were successful during the dynasty years, this is kind of how things went. The Giants, They really like scoring runs early on and then not really adding on at the end or any other time throughout the game. And this one got a little close, man. So after those 3 first-inning home runs, which was really great to see, we got into it a little bit in the 7th inning. Robbie Ray got into some trouble, and I see in the comments right now, RC Madness, Melvin left Ray in too long again. He just shows bad judgment. And we'll get into the Bob Melvin stuff a little bit later on in today's show. But yeah, I kind of thought more of the same again this in tonight's game. You see the signs, right? Like, I know he had a shutout going. I know Robbie Ray was right under 100 pitches or right at about that number. He finished with 105 today. But I don't know, again, why you send a guy out in a situation like this who's, unless Robbie Ray is telling you that he feels 1,000,000% that arm isn't the least bit fatigued, I don't know why you're leaving Robbie Ray in at this point in the season, why you're making him go push and push and push late into games. I know you don't have a very healthy bullpen. I know you want to still win games, and you aren't going to wave the white flag, especially with the expanded playoffs and teams constantly feeling like they got a shot. This team's 3 games under 500. We're towards the back half of August at this point. We're past the middle of it. And the Giants are still 3 games under 500. This team is not going to sniff the postseason. And leaving Robbie Ray in a situation like that, I think, is a little reckless. Like, this is a guy who has not pitched a full season since returning from Tommy John. And maybe Robbie Ray's sitting there saying, I want more innings. I want to push the arm, and I want, it feels good. It feels strong. And if he's saying that, then more power to him. But I cannot imagine that that's what Robbie is telling. Every pitcher wants to keep going, but I can't imagine that everybody, trainers and everyone else on the Giants staff is 100% behind this. And maybe they are, like I said, but to me, it befuddles me why Bob keeps leaving guys out there for 100+ pitches every single time that a starter is going out there, or at least every single time Logan Webb and Robbie Ray are out there. They're going 100+ pitches every single time. So it's a little frustrating for me to see that, because I want this guy to be good next year. I think that's what you got to build for at this point. And maybe this is kind of building for next year, building arm strength for Robbie Ray. And again, if that's the case, great. But I really don't see that being the situation. And it concerns me seeing Robbie Ray continue to throw all these pitches. Nonetheless, in today's game. He comes back out for that 7th inning, gets a quick out from Laureano, gets him to fly out. Then Xander Bogaerts rips a double. It kind of bounces off the wall in a weird way. Then you get an error by Casey Schmidt. I thought maybe, did they assign him 2 errors on the play? I think they did. They assigned Casey 2 errors on the play. He botched the ground ball, kind of fumbled it, and then he threw that ball straight into the Padres dugout, looking like something straight out of a slow pitch softball league. It was not a very pretty sight for Casey at third base on that play. Allows a run to score, and then Ryan O'Hearn launches a 2-run bomb. And at that point, you're kind of sitting there wondering, what's going to happen with Robbie if he keeps going. And granted, all those runs were unearned because of the Casey Schmidt error. He was able to get Freddie Fermin to fly out just before the home run. So, you wouldn't have even had to face Ryan O'Hearn in that inning if Casey Schmidt just makes that routine play over there at third base. Maybe a little tougher than routine, but definitely a play he should be making. And so you're not really gonna destroy Robbie Ray for this. But again, another concerning situation where Robbie Ray has given up a home run. And this guy, we know that how he profiles. He's a high fastball, a strikeout guy, and he loves that 4-seamer up in the zone. And it gets tattooed every now and again. Robbie's had very few outings where he hasn't given up a home run since the start of July. He's only had 1, 2, 3, 4 starts without giving up a home run since the month of July. So the home run trend for Robbie Ray continues. He was so good early in the season at not giving up those long bombs, but it's kind of, coming back down to earth a little bit, but he's still, Robbie has been one of the most consistent players for the Giants. He's still sporting a 2.85 ERA. And today he goes 6 2/3, 3 hits, gave up three runs, but again, none of those were earned, and he only walked 1 while striking out 6. I thought he had a good mix of things going for him today. The knuckle curve was looking pretty spicy. When that pitch is working for him, he looks a lot better on the mound. He only threw it 8 times, but it was effective when he threw it. He had a 50% swing and miss rate on it, so that's pretty good. Same with the changeup. Only threw 20 of them, got 4 swings or 10 swings, 4 misses. So 40% swing and miss rate on that changeup as well. I really like the way that Robbie looks when that changeup is working, when the off-speed stuff is working. He looks really, really, really good. And we talked about this at the beginning of the year. I did not think Robbie Ray was going to either be I did not think he was going to be in the middle. I thought he was going to either be really bad or really good. And I'm kind of still shocked that Robbie Ray is still hanging on. Like I've said for a while now, I'm kind of waiting for the wheels to fall off on him because of all the injury history, because of the regression with the home runs and things like that from where he was at the beginning of the season. And so far, none of that's happened. And so shout out Robbie Ray for continuing to trudge on through the mire and try to give the Giants a win, something to root for, like give some kind of hope to this team. And I think that Robbie Ray does kind of give you a little bit of that when he's on the mound. You can tell that he just plays with a lot of passion. You got to love those grunts, like the tennis style grunts on every single pitch that he throws. I like watching Robbie Ray, the tight pants, the whole look, everything. It's a fun experience. And I'm still shocked that he's been able to hang on as long as he has this season. But you got to have more than just Robbie Ray. You got to have some offense. The Giants scored 4 runs tonight, and thankfully they win. They get away from Oracle Park and just leave all of that trash behind them. I know that we missed a lot of shows during this homestand, but trust me, I've been paying attention to what the Giants are doing, or more like what they're not doing. They're not scoring runs. They're not hitting the baseball and just not able to get anybody around the bases or move guys over and get them in. They're unable to do that on a consistent basis. It's the same thing all season long. Tonight, you weren't really able to do it consistently, but you got enough of it in that first inning to get through it. So because of that, I think we got to go ahead and give Heliot Ramos our player of the game today for starting off that home run barrage.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And that home run barrage was pretty fun to watch. The Giants, it's rare that they get 3 home runs in one inning, and seeing the guys who did it was satisfying to me. Like seeing Devers get into one, seeing Ramos get into one, back-to-back jacks to start the game. Does it get any better than that? And then Wilmer, who has, kind of fallen off the planet since that red hot start. He had a nice swing of the bat. as well and launched a home run of his own. So, I mean, 3 in that first inning. Ramos started it off. He's also the only one who had a home run, who also had multiple hits in today's game. So even though he struck out 3 times, we're still giving Ramos today's player of the game for that home run and for having a couple hits in this one and just setting the tone for the Giants offense in that one. I think Heliot Ramos is really kind of the straw that stirs the drink for this lineup. When he is going, you have to have him going for this lineup to start producing. I mean, he is kind of the tone setter at the top of the order, and I've been encouraged by what I've seen from him at points in time this year, but I need him to be a little more consistent. The strikeout numbers are just climbing a little too fast for my liking. So, but for today, Ramos, great job, player of the game. But Ramos did have some comments that made some headlines recently, and we got to get into it, man, about Bob Melvin and the player support for him, calling out the fans. We got a lot to get into on the other side of the Locked On Giants postcast. Don't go anywhere. Breaking all that down next and more on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks, and the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is already heating up, and college football is not far behind. Week 0 coming up real fast. And whether you've got your eye on big-name quarterbacks or breakout running backs, PrizePicks makes it easy to get in the game. And if you're looking for season-long higher or lowers, I mean, I'm looking at a few, man. I'm scoping a few out, but I'm staying away from the big names, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Everyone's all over Joe Burrow this year. I think we all know that Cincinnati's offense is going to be throwing the ball a whole hell of a lot. And I think those numbers, like the spreads on everything, like just the lines for everything, are way too high for some of these big name guys. Like, I'm not looking for a super sky high line on a guy like Joe Burrow. Instead, I'm staying local. I'm going for like a guy like Brock Purdy, who had a subpar year last year numbers wise, but I think is going to bounce back this year. I'm going to hit a lot of overs in more thans on the Niners this year, because they have a very soft schedule, and with kind of the bitter taste that I think the NFL community has about the Niners after last season, I think you're going to get a lot of sweet deals in that range. So scope out something for Christian McCaffrey, scope out something for Brock Purdy, maybe even a Jawan Jennings. He's going to have a huge role in this offense. Scope some of those guys out. If you like what you're seeing with the line, smash that over. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Let's do that again. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, run your game. And today's show is also sponsored by FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. And I've told you guys before, I think this year is the year that Lamar goes and gets another MVP. Lamar Jackson has been so good the last couple of years, and I think that what the Ravens have added on offense is really going to take him to another level. And I like him for the MVP this year. I really do. I've been scoping out some stuff for Defensive Player of the Year, and I want to go with a dark horse, but I just can't in this situation. Going Myles Garrett, man. Myles Garrett is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. It feels like a no-brainer to me. I know there's some other popular picks out there, TJ Watt, etc., but Myles Garrett just really stands out to me. I think that he is going to be your Defensive Player of the Year this year. So visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today the Giants win, and it's an extra special day for me because the Giants win, and that's the only thing I asked for on my birthday, which is today, which is also why I'm wearing this hilariously dumb birthday hat on the show. If you're watching on the live stream, I'm getting a lot of love in the comments. My guy Dom, thank you, buddy. Thanks for wishing me a happy birthday, Greg and Jerry. Also, you guys as well. Appreciate all of you and all you other everydayers out there watching the show, listening to the show, however you're tuning in. We appreciate it. And what else we appreciate is the Giants delivering us a win streak, man. 2 wins in a row. We can call it a streak because it's been quite a while since the Giants have had back-to-back wins where they haven't done this since the Pirates / Nationals games that they had, which, I mean, let's be real, you should be winning at least a pair of those games in back-to-back fashion against 2 of the worst teams in all of baseball, which, by the way, the Giants severely struggled against both the Nationals and the Pirates this season. So even though they were able to win back-to-back games in those series, you still got a lot of meat left on the bone there that just does not taste good, does not feel good in retrospect. And we're 125 games into the season. The Giants are 3 games below 500 still. So even though they win, it's just not the it just every win just feels a little hollow at this point. Like, I am not really looking for wins and losses at this point. I'm looking for things that you can glean for next season. And one of those big topics, other than is Casey Schmidt going to lock down second base? Who's going to be right field? Like, is there a controversy with Pat Bailey at catcher? Is Bryce Eldridge going to play first base next year? A lot of question marks for the Giants. What's the back end of the pitching rotation look like? But perhaps a bigger question mark than all of these things is the Bob Melvin situation. And I think that's what you're going to continue to be talking about after today's game.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And what I think you're going to be talking about after this, and kind of just in general, what you were probably talking about before the game, was Heliot Ramos making some comments to the media, basically saying that he told the Chronicle that he's 100% behind Bob Melvin. He said the fans and other people don't really know what's going on inside the locker room. He was kind of echoed by Logan Webb, who said, a lot of people think that Bob Melvin's just kind of standing around looking like just kind of doing nothing during games. But Logan kind of reaffirmed what we've all been kind of hoping to hear, which is that Bob Melvin actually has been showing some signs of life, some emotion in the locker room, and has been, kind of getting after some guys. But again, this is a different day and age where you don't have you don't have Lou Piniella going out there and stealing second base and flipping tables in the locker room. And the days of Tommy Lasorda are long gone. Those styles of managers don't exist in Major League Baseball anymore. It's a players' league at this point. And if you're a manager doing that kind of stuff, player's going to get you out of here and go get a new guy. And that's, Bob Melvin is always described and has always been described. And Heliot Ramos described him as such again, as a player's manager. And that's going to buy you a lot of it's going to allow you to do a lot of stuff, make a lot of mistakes, and the players will still have your back. If that's the kind of guy that you are, gives you a lot of leeway. That's the word I'm looking for. Gives you a lot of leeway if you are that kind of guy with the players in the locker rooms. And Logan Webb put it as plainly as he could. He said, Bob's been doing all the right things. We just haven't succeeded. We have not done our jobs as players on this team. And I do kind of, believe Logan a little bit. I think he's a pretty good barometer for what the vibe is in that clubhouse, because we've heard Logan say things like this before. We've also heard Logan come out and say that the whole team needed a vibe change and the locker room needed to feel different just days before Gabe Kapler got canned. So I think Logan Webb kind of showing a vote of confidence for Bob Melvin. I think that is something that we should look into, or at least take note of, because Logan Webb is the barometer for this team. He is the leader, the kind of the guy that everyone's looking to in that clubhouse. He's the longest tenured Giant on this team. And I do kind of buy into what Webby has to say, even though I personally do not see how you can bring Bob Melvin back if he does not show that he can get this team going, that he can get them motivated to win games. I have come on here and said multiple times that Bob Melvin has shown a lot of the same kind of sleepy Bo Mel stuff that we saw in San Diego that made Padres fans absolutely despise him. We've seen a lot of that same stuff here, where he looks asleep at the wheel, leaves guys in for way too long, weird bullpen management strategies. It's all the same stuff that we've seen in the past. But if the players are behind the guy, I don't think you make that change yet. And as much as I, as a fan sitting here, want them to make that change, if the players are buying in, and they are actually buying in, which it sounds like they are, based on what Webby's saying, based on what other guys have said, what Ramos said to the media, these guys are all going to bat for their manager. And guys who don't like their manager aren't going to throw themselves into the fire to defend that guy. So maybe it's just Webb, maybe it's just Ramos that like this guy. But again, Webby is a good barometer for that locker room, for that club. And I really do think that that's an indicator of what's going to happen with Bob next year. I fully expect Bob to return at this point. As much as I don't personally want that to happen, I think we got another year of Bob Melvin. I mean, everything that from the organization internally has kind of signaled that, right? Like Buster Posey picking up the option and guys coming out to defend Bob. There's been nobody, not a single person from the Giants organization that has kind of even like hinted at throwing them under the bus. Willie Adames kind of had a statement saying that like earlier this month, maybe it was the end of last month, saying that the locker room was just not vibing the way that it was at the beginning of the year, that guys were just kind of down on themselves, that it was tight. And maybe because for those guys, like maybe they're feeling that way because they have the faith in the manager and they're just not executing. They're just not playing the brand of baseball that they signed up to be playing here with the San Francisco Giants, which is pitching and defense. And that has not been the case for the Giants for the large part of this year. I mean, again, look at Casey Schmidt today, another couple errors in 2-in-1 play. Even though the Giants got the win in this one, it was not a clean game. It was not a clean win. I mean, you're striking out in double digits like 10 plus times again, and you have multiple errors like that usually is going to make your chances at winning a game go down significantly. So I am looking into mostly what we're going to see next year for this Giants team. I see Bob in the chat saying, I saw the Giants are only 5.5 out of the wild card, so we still have a chance. Bob, I'm going to need you to come back down to reality a little bit, buddy. I get it. I like living in fantasy land too. I've been going to music festivals for the last 3 weekends. Was out in the Redwoods all this last weekend, listening to a bunch of reggae music, living in fantasy land of my own. But we got to be real with the Giants. This team is not sniffing the postseason. There's no chance that this team gets hot enough to overtake all the teams in front of them and make a push for that last wild card spot. You need an epic collapse, like the David Wright, Jose Reyes Mets level collapse from another team for the Giants to have a chance. I just do not see that happening. Trying to make up 5.5 games in a month and less than a month and a half is damn near impossible. At this point, you have to be focused on what the Giants are going to do next season. Plus, Chapman's going to the IL. Like, I mean, this season is cooked. It's Fat Lady's not quite singing on stage yet, but you can hear her warming up in the back behind the curtain. It's done for the Giants. I mean, it's all about building towards next year at this point, because this team does have pieces. It does have some things moving in the right direction for them. And maybe if the chips fall the right way in the offseason, you get the right guys back, you add a little bit more in free agency, you figure out right field. Maybe you bring in someone to challenge Pat Bailey at catcher. You figure out who's going to be your second baseman of the future, and you figure out how far away Bryce Eldridge is at first base. If you can solve those problems back end of the rotation, it's a lot of things that the Giants got to do, but they got the superstars in place. They need the supporting cast. And if they can go out and get a solid supporting cast, I do believe that this team will be a lot better next season than they have been so far this year. It's all the time that we got for you guys today. Thank you so much to everyone tuning in for this Giants postcast. Giants, a win streak, second win in a row, first win at Petco all damn year long, 4-3 win over the Padres. And Triple E got what he wanted for his birthday. The Giants win. That's all I asked for. So shout out the Giants I know they did it just for me. You know what I mean? Like, I know all of this is about me. I'm so glad that they went out and won just for me. I'm obviously being super facetious right now, but shout out the Giants, making my day better. Shout out all of you guys tuning in. Thanks to everyone in the chat for wishing me a happy birthday. Appreciate all you guys. We'll be right back at it tomorrow, and we won't be taking too many more days off the rest of the year. Just want to throw that out there as well. We will be back for pretty much every single game for the rest of the season. I know we took a lot of days off here in August. The Giants were pissing me off so much, man. I just needed to get away a little bit. So we're back. We're all settled in. We're locked in for the rest of the year. Locked in on the Locked On Giants postcast. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.